Okay, what is up, people? It's me, Ruben, and my sister, Rachel. Say hi.
Hi.
Alright, we're going to talk about two things. One is Civil War spoilers, because Rachel is very upset at some stuff that I found out that may or may not be true. And then, secondly, me and her are very upset, plus everybody I talk to, about The Flash and what's going on with Jay Garrett and Hunter
Hunter
Zolomon
Zolomon,
and
Zoom.
what and who he is and whatever one he is today or whatever. So we're gonna figure all that stuff out later. But let's do Civil War stuff first. So okay, when did I tell you? I think I told you like on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I found out a few things. First thing is that Captain America does not die. Oh, spoiler warnings. Probably should have said that. Spoiler warnings, because we're talking about spoilers, obviously. Alright, first thing, Captain America doesn't die. He walks away fine. And secondly, that goes with that is none of either Team Cap or Team Iron Man, none of them die. They're all fine. They all walk away just perfectly good and fine. Except kind of Bucky. Bucky doesn't walk out. Well, he walks out fine, but then at the end of the movie, he wants to go be frozen like he was in Winter Soldier. He wants to be frozen. He tells Black Panther, because they're all friends at the end of the movie, of course. He tells Black Panther, hey, freeze me until they can get the brainwashing out of me. He's like, alright, I will. So Black Panther freezes him, and Cap's there, and he's like, oh, thank you, T'Challa, for doing this. And he's like, yeah, don't worry, Steve, he'll be safe. And that is what happens to Bucky. And Steve is still alive and kicking. He's just not Captain America anymore, because he feels he don't deserve to be. So there's no Captain America at the end of the movie. So we have the Avengers that are disassembled, and there's no Captain America.
It's blasphemy is what that is.
Yeah, because we were under the impression...
Bucky needs to be new Captain America, and if it's not Bucky, it needs to be Falcon. There has to be a Captain America.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
There has to be a Captain America.
Well, that's, kind of what I would think, that there should be a Captain America. But you're not a fan of just Bucky being put on ice?
No, that's ridiculous. He should be new Captain America. Should be new Captain America. I assumed they were gonna kill Steve Rogers, or at least pretend kill him, and then in like Infinity Wars he was gonna like show up and be like, yeah, I was never dead. And then at the end of Civil War, he knew Captain America would be, Bucky would have his shield, but he wouldn't completely be Captain America. And then they do movies exploring how Bucky's not really Captain America, but then he's not Winter Soldier either. He has to find out who he is. But just freezing him is like so stupid. That doesn't, like, what are you supposed to do with him?
Okay, the thought behind that is, because I found out, is that he's like, oh, well, they have the Hydra brainwashing in my brain. It's still there. It's apparently Baron Zemo.
It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, because if he can go through the movie without killing Steve Rogers, and he's like, oh, Steve Rogers, you're my friend. We grew up together.
I know your mom.
Yeah, I apparently know like everything about you and whatnot. Then he obviously has enough control to not kill his best friend, to recognize that that is his best friend and not kill him. So
yeah, well,
and I assume he didn't kill anybody else then, if nobody else died. So he obviously is in control enough to not go on killing rampages like in Winter Soldier.
Well, yeah, and that's his thought process. That, well, until they get rid of me, or until they can get rid of it, then I want to be frozen because I'm still a danger to everybody.
That is not Bucky's thought process, no.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. That happens. That's what happens.
Well, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Now, that's not. I can't confirm any of this stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's what happens. So, I mean, you can take that or not take that. You seem like you really don't like that idea.
I'm not taking that. No, I'm not going to take that. And if we go watch it and that's really what happens, I'm going to start a riot in the movie movie theater. That's what I'm gonna do.
I mean, it could be worse.
It could be better.
Could be worse, though.
Nah, they got away with it for like Age of Ultron being like, that was decent. They're not gonna get away with that for Civil War.
Yeah, also, so nobody dies, and they'll walk away from it pretty unscathed. That was one of the review I saw gave you the spoilers, which I wasn't going in there looking for spoilers. He just kind of gave them away. So he was like, yeah, that happened. And then also, one person does get hurt. War Machine gets hurt. You see it in the trailer. He gets shot, and he like falls down in the ground.
I don't understand how that would make him paralyzed.
That's what I was talking to.
Did he hit him in his spine or something? Or what?
That's what I was talking to with somebody at work. And so I was like, I was telling him what happened. And he was like, that doesn't make sense because isn't the armor supposed to protect you when you fall?
Yeah.
How would you have got paralyzed?
Paralyzed? That makes no sense.
So he's paralyzed. He's paralyzed for probably like 20% of the movie. Maybe
and then 15%. At the end, he can walk again.
Yeah, he can walk again. So it's fine. So there's no ramifications for that at all.
It's ridiculous.
So that's what happened. Now that all that Bucky stuff, that's a post-credit scene. That's a first post-credit scene. Okay? So when the movie ends...
So they're not even going to talk about it in the actual movie?
No, when the movie ends, exactly when the movie ends, Team Cap is thrown in jail. Because they win against the government. They win against the government. That's what happened.
That's not how law works. Okay, that's not how law works. Even fake law, that's not the way that works. They actually would have had to commit a crime for them to throw them like permanently in jail.
And so they're in jail. So Cap breaks them all out of the raft, that thing in the water. See, I thought it was the cube from Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but it's called the raft because it's in the middle of the water. That prison.
Oh, from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Is it that boat they had out there?
No, it's like a prison that comes out of the water. It's in the middle of the water, and it's called the raft. It's a big square prison.
Who put that there?
People. I don't know.
When would they ever have had that?
Probably an old S.H.I.E.L.D. thing. I don't know.
That we never mentioned until just right now?
Yeah. Tony probably built it. What was he doing? So he breaks them all out of there. And now all Team Cap is on the run. And Ant-Man's on the run. Everybody's on the run. They're all on the run. And Cap leaves a burner phone with Iron Man. He's like, if you need my help, just call this number and I'm there. That's how the movie ends. And then we get the post-credit scene where Bucky's like, T'Challa, freeze me. And he's like, okay, I will, until my scientists figure out what's wrong with you. And he's like, thanks for doing that. He's like, don't worry, Steve, you'll be good. And then they zoom out and you see part of Wakanda. That's the post-credit scene. And then there's probably one or two more, but I don't know what those are.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Black Panther just got over whatever he was mad at them for in the first place?
Yes, because they all figured it out. They all figured out what happened.
And so now we're just like, we're best friends, but... Still, the government's still against you guys, but we're still with the government.
Wakanda's its own government place.
What was his business in the first place?
Which brings me back to the other spoiler. There is one person who dies in the movie. It's Crossbones.
Nobody cares.
That's exactly what I knew you were going to say.
Nobody cares if Crossbones dies.
Crossbone is the one who dies. Apparently, Cap beats him up. They have a good fight in the beginning part. And then he has like a suicide vest on and he blows himself up. And that apparently kills some people. And that's, I guess it almost kills Black Panther's dad. And they blame that on Bucky.
It almost kills Black Panther's dad or it kills him?
Almost kills his dad.
So he's going to go throw a fit because that almost killed him.
Mm-hmm.
Something that nobody had anything to do with.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally like somebody blaming that's like it, like a real world situation. Like nobody blames, like, the cops didn't catch the guy who had the suicide vest on. Like, you don't blame the cops for that. That's totally out of their control. How were they going to do that?
Once again, I'm just telling you what happens. Just telling you what happens.
And I'm telling you that it's ridiculous.
So if we go to see Civil War, based on everything I tell
I'm
you.
jumping ship to DC, and I'm gonna make a little shrine out in the front yard to DC because I expect much, much more from Marvel.
Where you bring at the altar? Do you bring Marvel comics and you burn them there?
Yeah, that's exactly
Is that what you do?
I'm gonna do. I'm doing that. I'm gonna paint the little Nightwing symbol on it in blue.
In blue, because red.
Blue,
how dare you do that in red?
Because we don't talk about that
red crap
tasticness that was there.
Yeah, so those are the spoilers that I found out. That's not confirmed. I read another one that was even less confirmed from like February or March. I mean, we're in April, so it's not that far away, but this was from a few months ago. That apparently on that version, supposedly it was a script. Supposedly, I don't know if that's true at all. But on that one, Crossbone kills Hawkeye's family, and so Hawkeye is mad at Crossbone because Cat beat him up. So Crossbone goes to find Hawkeye's family, and he kills Hawkeye's family.
How would he even find that?
First thing,
second thing. No, I don't think that's the way that would go.
So that's what happens, and then at the end, apparently of that one, there's a lot more fighting in there. But at the end of that one, Hawkeye kills Crossbone. He shoots like 4 arrows into him from every member of his family that he killed, and he kills them.
He just turns into the Punisher. And
he does.
Forget this.
He puts 4 arrows in him, and that's all for him.
I think that's just blatant.
And then at the end of that one, Cap and Iron Man, they make friends, and everybody, all the teams make friends with each other. They patch things up or whatever. But on that one, Cap goes on the run, and then he leaves the shield to Bucky, and Bucky picks up the shield, and he's new Captain America. It doesn't say he's new Captain America, but he picks it up, and he goes. Yeah, okay. He just walks away with it.
Okay, so the question is now, if that last one doesn't happen, what does Cap do with this shield? He's just running around with the shield all over the place. Because obviously, if anybody sees him with the shield, you're going to be like, oh, that's Steve Rogers, Captain America. Because he has the shield.
He probably left it.
Where? He didn't give it to Bucky if Bucky's frozen.
Government has it. I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
Alright, the other thing about that, last thing for that is, apparently Spider-Man is in the movie for about 25 minutes, close to 30 minutes. He's in there a good portion of time. And on there, he has, we see him in like his homemade Spider-Man suit, which apparently is just like pajamas or something. I don't know. And then Iron Man comes to get him, and they talk a while, and apparently their conversation is really good. And then after that, we see on the airport fight, he's there, and apparently Spider-Man fights every single member of Team Cap. He goes one-on-one with every single member, which I can't believe because Spider-Man's awesome that way. So he just goes one-on-one. He goes one-on-one with Cap, and apparently
he's definitely not going to beat Cap.
He probably doesn't beat Cap, but I hear their conversation is really good.
That's
then he goes one-on-one with Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch, and apparently he goes one-on-one with Ant-Man, and he takes down Ant-Man, who turned into Giant Man. So that's what happens there. And apparently it's really good. And apparently the whole airport scene is the best thing that's ever happened in movies. And they're not sure why movies even happen anymore because you cannot top the airport scene. So that's what happens. And that's all the spoilers I have for that. But you still don't seem impressed by that.
No,
you seem
more.
You
can't see my face right now, but
it's not a happy face.
I'm not impressed.
It's really not. Yeah, so I mean that's what I once again, it's not 100% confirmed that's what happened, but I mean I think it's probably close to what happens.
Somebody other than Steve Rogers better have that shield at the end of that movie. That's all I have to say. If it's not Bucky, then it needs to be Falcon, or I'm going to be really mad.
That's the only thing I could see going different. Everything else I said I could see happening, but the only thing that can be different that I could see is Cap leaving the shield to Bucky, or Falcon picking up the shield, because there always has to be a Captain America. Just like there always has to be
Yeah.
a Batman.
Yeah, I would assume so. Also, with that thing too of like, if Cap's not Captain America, like I think it was pretty well established. Like he doesn't know what to do with himself. Like he can't just be in the world and like not be a soldier. Like they made that pretty clear through the other movies that like that part of his life was gone. Like he's not a normal person. Like he doesn't know how to be a normal person. He can't like settle down and just go live like out in the middle of nowhere and like be happy. He's a soldier. That's what he is. It's who he is. So
Well, maybe he just is wandering the world like some sort of Highlander, and he's just helping people along the way. And he probably ran off with that one whore from Everwood. What's her name? What's her name? The chick from Everwood. What's her name?
she's Sharon, right?
Sharon Carter. Yeah,
Sharon Carter.
she's Agent 13 in the Civil War. You don't know who we're talking about. She was on Everwood. Look that up. So was Star-Lord. Star-Lord was on Everwood.
Star-Lord, yeah.
That was her brother.
They were brother and sister, and then also, do you remember that in real life they were dating?
Were they?
Yeah, they were dating while they were filming Everwood and were brother and sister.
That's kind of weird.
And that's not kind of weird. That's really weird.
It's kind of weird. It's
That's a
also
whole
like,
nother like conversation though of where Marvel people are from.
yeah, also just like how Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were
They were
married in Godzilla.
Yeah. Also,
That's
Bucky, straight from Gossip Girl.
Yeah, he's from
He
Gossip
was
Girl.
in that. I remember very clearly.
He was in there. Yep, that's
Yep.
true. Who else? Anybody else?
He was in there, and he was really dating what's her name, Blair, in like
Yep.
real life at the time.
Yep, he was.
That happened.
That did happen.
He was also in that movie with
Stefan in that movie?
no,
The Covenant?
no, John Carter.
John Carter was in there.
The other dude from Gossip Girl's in there.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Yep, good times.
It was good. Are you sure Stefan was in there?
No,
What
he
movie am I
wasn't
thinking
in
of
there.
that Stefan
You're
was?
thinking of that other guy.
Stefan
that was
from
in
Vampire Diaries. People are like, who's Stefan? Stefan from Vampire
there.
Diaries.
No, he wasn't in there.
What movie was
That
he?
other guy in there kind of looks like him.
Yeah. I think that's everybody who's in something. Oh, speaking of Cap, we watched. We're not going to get to Jay Garrett. That's fine because that's the whole nother.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares because we can go on for like an hour about how that doesn't make sense. Because I was talking to kids at work too, and they're like, "I'm not a teacher. That's why I'm talking to kids.
Not just randomly
I'm not in my windowless van. I'm like, oh hey kid, you want to talk about the Flash?
Giving out lifesavers.
Yeah, no, I'm an actual teacher, so that's why. But I was talking to him, and yeah, he was like, no, that don't make sense. The whole Flash thing don't make sense. So there's that. But yeah, we have Netflix because we watched Daredevil season 2. Obviously, what else would I have that for? And then we're like, oh hey, what other movies is Cap in? We watched one with him and Falcon a while back, which was pretty good.
Yeah,
What
I
was
don't
it?
remember the name of that. It was like a romantic comedy.
Mhm.
That was good though.
That one was good.
I also watched.
What are you doing?
I also watched.
Yeah, you watch one by
I
yourself.
watched his. He directed it,
Yeah.
which was a romantic comedy too. That
You
was
said
good.
you said that was good. It said it
Yeah.
abruptly ended, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then we
Snowpiercer.
were looking for. I was looking for one called Sunshine that he's in. He's in there with Scarecrow. I forget the Scarecrow's name from Batman Begins, or from the Dark Knight trilogy. I don't know his name, but he's in there. I was looking for that one because everybody says that's really good, and I know that movie because Linkin Park's video "Leave Out All the Rest" is a copy of that video or of that movie.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
Yeah, we'll
video.
Google it right now. Yeah, he goes, when my time comes.
Yeah, I know the song, but I didn't know the video.
Yeah,
goes with that movie.
Yeah, it goes with that movie. Of course, Linkin Park knows the.
I'm sure they do.
They know the deep cuts of random ass movies.
Yeah, well.
So
I like that.
I was looking for that movie and they didn't have it, but we saw this other one called Snowpiercer, which everybody says is really good. So we started watching that, and quick synopsis of that: Captain America's on a train. He's not Captain America, but
He's still kind of Captain
pretty
America.
Captain America. He acts one he either acts one way, it was really douchey white guy, or he acts like Captain America. There's not really a middle part for him. So he's acting like Captain America.
Even in the romantic comedies, it's like Captain America, all like old-timey, proper and stuff.
So we're watching it, and right, synopsis of the story. He's on a train. The world ended. This crazy dude built a train that goes around the world, and it keeps everybody alive.
Yeah.
Everybody on the outside is dead because it's another ice age. Because contrary to popular belief, the world was not getting warmer; it was getting colder. Because that makes sense. I'm not going to get into that, but whatever. So everything ended, and everybody on the train is alive because they threw the people on the train. So those are the only people alive. So they're going, and the train's just going. The train will never stop because it has infinite power, apparently.
Yeah.
So all the people in the back of the train, they're like in what? The caboose of the train, apparently?
Yeah.
They're like in the back
too. They're in the last part.
Yeah, they're in the last cart and a half, or last two carts.
They're all the poor people. And,
they're on the poor people.
Low lives and stuff.
Yeah, they look like they're in the, it is messed up to say it, but it looks like they're in like the Holocaust, they're in like shacks and stuff.
Yeah.
It's basically what they are. I'm pretty sure that's the feel they were trying to give. So one day they get up and they're like, we should just storm all the way to the front. Cap is like, we should storm all the way to the front.
Cap is like, we gotta take the front car and then we'll control the train.
And
so they do that. They start on their quest to fight through and kill everybody.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of people.
There's a lot of people on this train. You're like, how many people survived the Ice Age?
A lot.
A ton of people. Very many. This is a very big train. And so, so they storm the train. Who else is there? The guy from, not Anakin Skywalker from Jumper is there.
The other guy? What is he?
Griffin? Dumbledore?
No. He was the new stupid thing in the new stupid Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah, that dude.
I don't know that guy's name. But yeah, he was in Jumper with
he's not Anakin Skywalker in Jumper.
I don't remember his name.
He's Irish or something. So they storm him, and I think one of the guys from the Raid Redemption is the guy who's throwing knives.
I do think so.
So they storm the train, and long story short, they go through a train. It's like different levels. It was very much like the Raid too, because every cart they went into,
it's a different.
It was a different obstacle
and
stuff,
and
it was crazy stuff, and it's pretty good. Everything's good, and they get to the final train, the top of the train, last train car, and Cap and like the locksmith dude are the only ones alive. And Cap finally talks to the conductor guy who built the train who's still alive. And long story short, they have like a very deep conversation. You're like, oh man, this is awesome.
So good, yeah.
And then the locksmith dude's daughter finds this like dynamite stuff, and she blows up the door lock to the outside of the train. She uses so much of it though, that the shockwave takes the train off the rails completely, like derails the whole train. All the train cars are like just rolling everywhere, and they're all
down
dead.
The cliffs,
yeah,
and everything.
So everybody's dead except the locksmith's daughter and like one little kid.
Yeah, Cap's dead.
Everybody's dead.
Locksmith's dead.
Everybody's dead. There's no survivors. Once again, there's like probably 50,000 people on this train at one point. There's
all dead.
2 left.
Single-handedly killed every single one of them.
2 left. They had a whole ecosystem on there. There was like great white sharks and stuff.
They had like fish and
stingrays.
All that.
They had trees. They had apples. All kinds of stuff to everything they need to restart the world. Gone because they derailed the train. And so they're like, what do we do now? And so the chick and the little kid get off the train, and then they see a polar bear. And that's where it ends.
That's it.
That's where the movie ends. I was like, what?
That was it. It needed to end like 8 minutes before it actually ended, and it would have been perfect.
Yeah, so if you watch this movie right when Cap is talking to that guy and he's like, I need you to take my place. Yeah, and Cap's like looking into the engine. Just turn it off. Just turn off right there and just assume he took the place. Yeah. Because I thought, this is where it's going to end. He's going to turn around and that's where it ends. I'm gonna throw stuff at my floor because that was the greatest ending ever. Yeah. No. But don't go further than that because if you do, you're gonna be like, why? No. And it didn't even we were like, oh, if they would have showed a little caption that was like, oh, 5 years later, 10 years later, and then there's
other people.
If there's like 100 people survived, but
you
nobody
know,
survived the train crash.
Nobody did that.
Because nobody was
left alive.
Because first thing, the bomb they used was about 5 tons.
It was like C4. I think it was like, straight C4.
It was like 5 tons of C4.
Yeah,
so it killed everybody. And not to mention that the whole train derailed off a mountain and tumbled and exploded. So everybody's dead. So, that's what happened on that one. So I think now we got to go find Sunshine to see if that movie is any better. But who knows? That movie might just end where they look at the sun and then the movie ends or something.
Go blind.
They go blind.
From staring directly at the sun.
Yeah. Or Scarecrow might douse people with
he might release
serum, fear gas.
Fear gas and that's what it really was the whole time. It was just everybody's hallucinations.
Yeah, they might just all have altitude sickness and then
they're just going crazy.
They're just going crazy. It's like that one movie that was really good where they thought they were like on the moon or something, but it turns out they were like underwater the whole time, and one dude thought there was some guy going crazy, or there was some crazy dude, but really it was just like him. He was going crazy. They thought they had like space sickness or something, but really they had like altitude sickness because they're at the bottom of the ocean and there's no oxygen there, so it was like driving them all crazy.
I vaguely remember that. Weren't they in space though?
They were supposed to be in space, but it crashed, like a storm crashed, and they were in the water because they were all in like hypersleep or something.
Yeah.
So they thought they were in space, or they thought they were up high. Really, they were like in the bottom of the ocean.
I vaguely remember.
And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like science went into that one. Like
realism.
that was good. Like science didn't go into Snowpiercer. So there you go. There's a review of Snowpiercer and that.
Which you didn't ask for,
but we're on the topic of that. So. Just talking about where Marvel characters are. Like Daredevil's from Boardwalk Empire.
Love that. Which lost me for a while too because I was done like after the first season. I was like, no, you can't just kill Jimmy. And then Daredevil showed up. He wasn't Daredevil yet, though, but...
Wasn't he?
He really was. Yeah, that was awesome. And then I stopped, and then...
Did they kill Daredevil?
Yeah, because then, of course, they chopped him up in friggin' pieces and shipped him to Nucky's wife, yeah.
When does Civil War come out?
May 6th. Friday, May 6th.
Okay, so I'm going to take that day off from work. We're going to go see it. Probably. Is your father going to take that day off from work? Is he got to wait because of that other thing?
I don't know.
So we're going to go without him, and then we're going to go see it, and then I'm going to go see it at night again, probably. Or Saturday. And then we'll go again, like, on Sunday. Just to make sure we don't like it.
If I survive after the first showing.
I'm sure it'll be fun. Once you see everything together, it probably makes sense.
It's not acceptable. It's not.
Once it all comes together. Just like you thought Age of Ultron was going to be really deep, and then we watched it. It wasn't. But it was still good. Just like that. But it was still good.
Just like that. Uh-huh. Age of Ultron was
It's going to be better than... Probably going to be better than Batman vs. Superman. I can guarantee you that much.
I can't speak on that because I didn't see it, but...
Alright guys, that's everything. See you guys later.